All right. It is November 13th, hanging out here, JTW Recording with Joel Wanasek. Got introduced to this guy from my buddy Sean Glass. He mixed the Bloodline record and it sounded fucking awesome. So I called him up and we're bopping through Milwaukee and he's in this area, so I decided to come down here. We've been bouncing around ideas for this new song. We've been working on some keyboard stuff and some string stuff and I really love the mix that he did on the Bloodline record, so he's gonna take a shot at it. And so I don't know, let's talk to you. So what got you, so when did you start? You were telling me on the way over here, I just met him basically face to face, and you were saying around 2009 is when you really started digging into.
Well, I've been doing this for kind of a living for a living full time since like 2006, 5-ish. But
Okay.
I quit playing in a band in 2000. That's when I got really serious about doing this. But I still fucking do this by ear when I know how to write it by,
Yeah, right.
I know how to orchestrate it and score it. Okay, viola section spiccato, that's why it's so stupid. No. There it is. Okay, where? There. That sounds better.
Sounds pretty low.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of low stuff going on.
So it's called knocked out. There. Now we take that up here and we drop in a violin. In the same octave. Because they sound like together. These are the sections, not just like a soloist or whatever.
Yeah. I think you were closer before.
Two?
Yeah, you were closer before. Like whatever your previous trip was, with just maybe less low stuff. No, like your original thing.
Oh, yeah?
Your original thing sounded closer to me.
Okay, let me try one more thing then.
Just without the cello stuff and.
Let me go with an octave.
Sounds better. That sounds the best to me.
Okay. I think it's more climactic with the two in there. And then here's what it sounds like with just the individual sections. See, that sounds too keyboardy. Like it's just kind of like, I don't know. Can you throw the vocals in there?
What's that?
Can you throw the scratch vocals in there?
Sure. No, that's.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Middle finger. Some of these lyrics are really funny.
They're stupid. They're so fucking
It's just
stupid.
like bullshitting, and it's just like.
Yeah, totally. It's just a freestyle, like my first pass at singing it ever, and just trying
I was
to.
laughing my ass off, which is great.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I gotta pitch these down, don't I? Okay, cool. So
I mean, when I listen to it with vocals, that keyboard, that orchestral part sounds a little big to me, and so I would want to maybe, I don't think we need to fuck around with it anymore now because I feel like we got it.
well, here's the other thing
Good.
that can happen. Well, didn't mean to grab that.
But it just seems like it's eating up a lot of space for.
Yeah, I can always.
I don't want it to become a big like orchestral part.
I can
Okay.
always do one of those where
Reshape
it's
it.
not in the way.
Yeah.
But you still have that.
I want those guitars there still.
Yeah.
Fucking guitars, man.
Yeah, hey, I'm Philip Brzezina and I play the violin. Today I'm at Trident Studios recording some tracks for Rob and Machine Head. Didn't really get too many details, but I was like, hell yeah. So, well, this song's badass. All of Machine Head stuff is. typically Rob will send like a sketch or a keyboard demo, or like this last time, like he just played a riff on a guitar, and then he wanted us to like basically translate it and put it into, you know, violin, cello, and whatever else. And then they actually tune their instruments up sharper than we usually do. So the hard part is kind of like trying to find their pitch and match that, and then fucking jam out with their drummer, which is rad too. So that's the other like notch to get it in there and lock in with them. I'm trying to convince Rob to get us on the live stage, play this shit live with them.
Hi, my name is Charlie. I play the cello. So I got a phone call from Phil last week, and called me up and said that Machine Head was going to be doing recording out here, and see if I was interested and if I was in town. Phil and I both do a lot of touring, so we are usually not in town at the same time. So it was actually amazing that he was in town and that I was in town, and so he called me up and we were able to set up a time where we could come in here and knock out the string parts. So here we are in Concord. We drove in this afternoon. It's awesome. It's a cool song. Sounds great.
We're here at Trident Studios. Obi-Wan getting ready to lay down some vocalities. Obi in the place. What's that?
Vocal 30.
Vocal 30, that's right. Got J-Mac, got Phil Bell. They're gonna throw some words at me. There's some ideas.
Really, really hard.
I got some killer shit down from the other day, and now we're just gonna try and fine tune and get a rockin' performance and just fine tune a couple of lyrics and a couple of lines that need a little working. So we're gonna go into the lab, gonna go into the vocal lab, see what we got. All right.
At the Temple Shrine of the Deaf online?
At the Temple Shrine of the Death? Is that what you're saying?
Deaf online.
The Death.
There's like a shrine to death online. I don't know. But
All
if
right.
you're gonna use death in like the next line or anything, that might not work.
No. The next line is, somehow I still feel so, like what I was hoping to do is go, blah, 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 the age of connection, self-satisfaction, blah, 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 and then somehow I still feel so alone.
Would it be cheesy to have something like, a million likes? A million likes,
No. I mean, if it works, it works, I don't know any of it. And if it's so compelling that it ties it all together, it'd be cool.
Everybody's, hey, go by and like his page. Hey, what's up? That's a million and a half likes, man.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool.
Alone. Accomplished, or you want to feel relevant, but then you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. For all my online shrine that I built to myself. Yeah. Now I stand as a father with sons and with daughters, and pawed at the sharpen the teeth for the slaughter. Cause this age of connections, a shallow reflection of pursing and porno and pointless distraction. So we build a let me get there. I gotta pull that up and put that in. Probing? Probing and porno.
I mean, it's got
Pussies and porno and pointless distraction. Online pride through a heart.
What about no stone unturned, no thought untried?
Try that.
Like you've done everything.
No stone unturned.
No thought untried, or no something untried. No task untried.
No stone unturned, no thought untried. Though my heart still beats, I'm dead inside. That's right.
No. The construct a shrine. You didn't like construct? Did you try that?
That's how you thought about ending it?
No, not, I'm still dead inside, because then you're going, hey, I'm still dead inside, and even after that I feel alone. So I'm saying, so construct a shrine to online pride, no stone unturned, no thought untried.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know either. Let's just try it. Punch me in. Trying to self online, no stone unturned, no thought untried. Okay, try it again. I need to hold this. pouting and porno and pointless distraction. We construct a shrine to self online, no stone unturned, not all thought untried. That's water. You know, that was, and then I had, originally I had Now I Stand as a Father, Now I Stand as a Father to Poverty's Daughter, you know, but something about to Poverty's Daughter. My sons bear the burden of famine and fodder, which fodder sounded horrible. Like, it just sounds like that doesn't make sense.
Sounds like somebody in Boston saying father.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So then I changed it to It's a Father. Let me tell you something. Now I stand as a father to poverty's daughter, appalled as we sharpen our teeth for the slaughter. Fucking word to say.
You said water is like
Water.
Treading water.
Like in a heavy
Dude, the
voice.
treading water is cool.
underwater.
Prophets in porno?
Prophets in
Prophets like Jesus prophet or prophet money prophet?
money.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Now I stand as a father and try to take water apart as they sharpen their teeth for the slaughter.
There's obviously a musical trust that I have with Rob. So anytime he shows me things, that even if it sucks, I'll I'll hide it. You know, I'll keep it in because I know it's gonna run its course and we're gonna work on things. So hearing demos of things sometimes, when I heard the first pass of it, I just there wasn't that anger there. Like, I want to hear Rob when he's fucking pissed off, or just like, not just pissed off, but just I want to hear the, I want to hear his heart breaking. I want to hear him fucking just spitting out at shit, and I want to hear, that thing that makes him that guy. And so I wasn't really hearing that, so I just, that was one of the processes of this song where, I guess creatively you can just kind of hear stuff and dude, that's not it. These lyrics aren't cool, or your voice isn't pissed off enough. Like, go, and he agreed. He was, he was kind of feeling the same way about it. And, it needs. I think the song's definitely more accessible than a lot of our other songs, but it still needs that, it still needed that pissed offness about it that makes Machine Head.
Good morning. That is Hollywood, Los Angeles, California. The Lowe's Hotel, getting ready to do Dime Bash. Jam with a few people, gonna jam with more people. Phil, Jared, and I are going to be doing it. I got a mix of the new song, Is There Anybody Out There? And it's got like pretty much final vocals on it. Well, maybe not final. I've sang it a bunch of times now. Trying to get this like kind of perfect balance between a clean vocal and a gritty vocal. My mind, my visual idea for it was how I sang "Hallowed Be Thy Name," the Iron Maiden track, and which was like mostly clean, but then every once in a while you put some grit on the vocals, and it's been a challenge, man. It's like it's not my normal way of singing, so I had to take a few times to get it. I sent it out to the guys though yesterday, and that was really the first time that Dave, Phil, Jared, or Joey had heard anything since I did just like a very, very crude one guitar track demo. And I didn't hear from Phil, who has pretty much hated the song for for the whole time. Jared likes it, but I didn't hear from him. And then Dave called me almost immediately after I sent it to him, and he's not digging it. He says it sounds like a remix. Like, it sounds like a remix. Doesn't sound like Machine Head. You know, he's not into it. I mean, he likes parts of it. He's like, it's super catchy and it's a really good song, but he's like, it just doesn't. Just don't know if it sounds like us. And you know, are we gonna start writing songs like this? A whole record of this? And I was like, I don't know. I just wrote this song. You know, he's like, it sounds like the Bruno Mars of metal or something. Bruno Mars of metal. And you know, it's a different song for sure. I mean, it's a different song, and we need something different. You know, we need to put out a song that's going to reach, you know, outside of the 50,000 people that bought Bloodstone and Diamonds. But it's just a really good song. You know, at the end of the day, that's the part that I, you know, it's like, yes, it's catchy, and yes, it's different, but do we throw away a catchy, different song that's just a great song because, you know, some critics or some, you know, fans for a few weeks are going to be turned off by it? Because, you know, if we can get a bunch more people into it, then, because we wrote this great, super catchy song, then it's kind of what, you know, song power. That's the power of a great song. You know, it transcends metal, it transcends hard rock, it transcends everything because it's just a great song. You know, I went in 2 days later to take one more pass at the vocals and try and get a more pissed off performance, and I started singing the words that I had on the second verse, and I just wasn't angry. I wasn't feeling it, and so I wrote a whole new second verse about how fucking appalled I was that he did that. And how I just don't, you know, one of the things he said to me, we told us to shut up, stop playing. I told you to stop. I made a little noise and he went, you don't know me. No, I don't know you. Not anymore. I don't know you. I don't get it, and I haven't felt connected to the metal community for some time now. I don't get where things are going, and part of this song is about that I don't get where it's going, and, you know, him doing that shit again, and this has been happening for 20 fucking years now, but I never had to stand on stage with the dude, and but, you know, I sang some pretty pissed off lyrics for that second verse, and everybody wanted more pissed. They got more pissed, and it's about that moment. It's a moment where I just, you know, is there anybody out there? Like, fuck. But we're still arguing about it as a band. There's a huge discussion that, you know, doesn't need to be said. It's gonna turn off people in the Midwest and the South. And that's where all the radio play is gonna be, you know, that matters. We're gonna polarize people. And we are. Those aren't invalid arguments, they're all true. We run the risk of not getting any airplay because of it. Hopefully the catchiness of the song can override that, because it's a really catchy fucking song. But it may not. And it may start a bunch of shit and then not even do anything. But that's how I felt. You know, when I originally wrote the song, a lot of it had to do with just my wife and I were separating for a while. We were seriously a divorce was imminent, and we managed to work it out, you know, and I was feeling a little lost there for a while. You know, music is about passion and about believing the words that you're saying. And making the listener believe that you're angry or happy or sad or whatever about what you're singing about. And there's no question that the previous lyrics I sang were good. But I don't know if you're going to believe them. And you're going to believe this. You know, some of you guys might not even like it. Some of you watching this right now might be offended by the shit I'm saying in this song. And I don't care. And I don't know what we are gonna do as a band. You know, I've talked about how, does it belong in there? Does it need to be said? I don't know. Does it need to be said? You know, this is a commercial song. We're trying to get on radio with it. You know, is this going to just negate our chances because now it's saying something and we, God forbid, we say something anymore, because that might offend listeners in the Midwest, and that might offend listeners in the South. And that's where we need to get inroads in America if we want to do something, and we just gotta say what they want. And, you know, do they want that? I don't think so. I don't think the majority of the people who live in the Midwest and the South want to hear white power shit. And I don't think they're going to be offended by me saying otherwise. By me saying, fuck those people. Because really, that is what Is There Anybody Out There about. Does anybody feel lonely? Do you feel fucking lost? Do you feel scared? And I do. I do feel scared. I'm scared to say this, because I know it's going to start a war with them. I'm scared to sing it. And that's one of the lines in the chorus. Is anybody else scared? The paranoia drops me to my knees. But does it need to be said? Yes. Fuck. absolutely, now more than ever,